Hi, I'm Paul Buckley from Mapei Australia, an ex-tiler with a long family history in the business. I've been the product manager of Mapei Australia for over 25 years. Today I'm in the Sydney Academy and I'll share some tips for tiling kitchen splashbacks. Let's go. Tip 1, substrate preparation. Really important part of the job. If the substrate's not prepared properly, there's every chance you could get tile delamination. So it's a must to prepare your substrate. You can see when I rub my hand on the wall, my hand becomes dirty, so this needs to be cleaned. The most simple way to clean the substrate is a bucket of water and a sponge. Nice clean water. We just simply wipe down where we're actually going to be installing the tiles. So you can see there on the sponge there's dust, so that came off the substrate of course, so that would have created a delamination or debonding area. Likewise, when I rub my hand on the back of a tile, my hand becomes dirty, so that needs to be cleaned as well. Tip 2, measure and plan. A really important part of the job to make the visual aspect of the tiling look good. One of the big things that people forget about is they measure the tile. So in this case a 200mm tile, but they forget to take into the fact that we're going to have a grout joint in it. So whether that grout joint is 1.5 or 3mm or sometimes greater, that grout joint has to be taken into account when you're doing your measuring. So we always measure across 2 tiles at a minimum. So you can see here we've coded for the grout joint, roughly a 3mm grout joint with the 200 tiles, so now we're at 403. So we've got to allow that to run down the wall or run across the floor wherever you're tiling to make sure that we have nice full pieces in the most visual areas. Tip 3, adhesive selection. Another really important aspect of tiling is to get the right product for the right job. When selecting your adhesive, I would always look for these type of classifications on the bag. For mine, I would always start as a C2. It's an improved cement-based adhesive, and in this case an S1, which refers to deformability. So this particular product is right for most applications. Always mix your adhesive twice, letting it rest in between. So mix, slake, mix. First mix agitates. Looking at the mix you might think it's ready to go, but it's not. You can't see it with your eyes, but microscopic ingredients take time to wet out and activate. Slake settles and lets all the ingredients wet out. The second mix brings everything together, creating the perfect adhesive. Mixing properly increases open time, workability, and most importantly, final performance, ensuring there won't be defects. It's just going to be a better all-round product to use. There's just no doubt about it. So mix, slake, mix. Tip 4, grout selection. Okay, we're into the grouting phase now. Our selection was 𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗂𝗍 Easy Design. The 𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗂𝗍 is a 2-part mix. You can see there's the paste, and in here we've got the actual catalyst, so the hardener. Okay, so we're ready to mix. Now you can see it's all nicely blended. We're ready to apply. For the epoxy, we use an epoxy squeegee. These are just a bit more firmer than the average squeegee, bit more force behind it. We can put 2 hands onto it and really push it into the grout joints. After we've got it in, you would never do this with cement-based grout, but with epoxy grout, we always spray water onto the surface of the tile. We've got our 2 buckets of water, our initial clean and our final clean. So very important to use a nice firm sponge and use it very lightly. We want to just be able to take it across lightly without digging the grout out of the joints. Tip 5, cleaning epoxy residue. After the application's taken place and we've got the tiles nice and clean, and remembering we always use 2 buckets of water, initial clean and final clean, there's usually a resin or an epoxy film left on the surface of the tile. Okay, so we're back the next day and we do have a little bit of residue left on the surface of the tiles that we do want to clean. So we would use our Ultra Care 𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗂𝗍 cleaner. We spray it on. So we use the white scouring pad, literally just no weight again, just on the tile surface itself. We shouldn't have to do anything on the grout joint at all. We're literally just concentrating on the tile surface itself. So we get it nice and clean. And then we go back to our initial that we talked about. We have 2 buckets of water, an initial clean, and then a final clean. So again, it doesn't matter because the grout's nice and hard now, so it doesn't matter the angle that we're doing. So like we did with the grouting, we just want to do small areas and just wipe off any of the residue of the 𝗃𝗶𝗱𝗂𝗰𝘁𝘂 cleaner. As you can see, I've done the final clean. I've got to let it dry off, of course, but really happy with the way it's come up. And I think you're going to be happy with the way your job's going to go, and I think you're going to be happy with the final performance of your epoxy grout.